Hello guys, so the sun is setting and you join me with the brand new Honda Civic which I just got recently, and I'm gonna get some first miles with it. What is expecting this car now is a around 200 kilometer more motorway journey. There will be a 30 kilometers on the B roads, but more motorways. So yeah, let's just see what this car is like. We're gonna talk about it a little bit later, but now on the way, what I want to find out is the fuel consumption I am going to get. This is the sport equipment model, and of course this new Civic is a hybrid. So yeah, I would say let's head off for a trip. I'm only taking with myself luggage, and it's like 2 laptops, so that's about it. Yeah, let's head off to this beautiful journey as the sun is setting, and I'm gonna listen to some of my favorite podcasts. Okay, here we are, and let's have a look at the consumption with it. So this is the average of the whole. So the motorway journey with it 6.3 liters per 100 kilometers, and on the B roads, when I was only on the B roads, it was 5 liters. However, this was in a sports mode because I want to have all the performance available, so that I don't have to press the accelerator very hard. So in a sport mode, motorway 6.3. Good night. Okay guys, so now I'm on this mountain pass somewhere in the mountains, and let's just have a quick walk around the car before we drive it. So this is the new Civic. I think it's the FL5 it's called, and this new generation I really like because it has much more simpler design, much more elegant. I think Honda has come back like to their 90s when they really made cars very easy in design, not over designed like previous generations of this car, previous 2 I think or 3 generations of this car. So yeah, we have some R18-inch wheels. The tires are 235/40 R18. These are of course winter tires, but the car goes from the factory on Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. Summer tires. I really like the coupe-ish style of the roof, which is also good for the aerodynamics of the car. And here we have a much more simpler rear end as well. I think I really do have to tell, I really like this car. I like the way it looks. We have some fake diffuser, yes, but overall it really looks like compact, sturdy, and really nice, and particularly in this blue color, which I really like. It really reminds me like the blue color that was on the Mazda that I own, the Mazda 6 2010. It's really a beautiful color. Yeah, okay, let's have a look at the boot. Now we're at the back. So the boot is quite decent, I would say. You have this sort of cover in the shadow. Yeah, I think it's good. You have a really huge opening. So yeah, it's pretty good. I think you have some 12-volt socket here. Yeah, here you have some lighting on this side, so that's pretty all right. I'll just put it like this. And what's even better, even though it is more of a like coupe-ish descending roof line, you still have plenty of space even for your head. I'm 1.90 m, and I fit just perfectly in here. And you have amazing, really amazing knee room in this car. In terms of comfortability, you have some air conditioning vents in the back, and you have 2 USB connectors for charging. The door bin is huge enough for the bottle, and very well rotated for it. So yeah, and let's go to the interior of the car, to the front of the car. So I have here a manual adjustable seat, but also I have the lower back support. I have to say the seats, being the standard seats, I mean this is a sport specification model, but being like not the Type R seats, I think they are pretty good. They have pretty good support for your knees, for your lower back, also I think for the higher shoulders, but yeah, I mean that's all right. And what I have to tell is that I really love the interiors of recent Hondas. I mean, they are just perfect. They are a perfect combination of technology yet control of the driver. So they are very nice. They are very simple. You have hardware controls with a very nice touch. Everything you touch, of course I have heated seats. Then you have this infotainment screen, which is very simple to use. Once you get into it, there is a lot of things in there, but it's actually very nice. You have Apple CarPlay, wireless Apple CarPlay in this car, so that's nice. Yeah, you have 2 USB ports, 1 12-volt socket, wireless charging pad, some huge cup holders, driving mode button. We have I think 4 modes. It's the eco mode, the normal, sport and individual, which I didn't actually set yet. So yeah, we can set it now. Let's have a look. Set it so we can choose. This is the engine. Let's put it in sport, and the steering into sports mode as well. I have to say the steering when it's in the sports mode is really nice, really delicate, almost like in the hot hatch, I have to say. Okay, but more about that a little bit later. Let's go now and let's have a drive. So this car, of course, is a hybrid, and that's a little bit gay for the car enthusiast, but I have to say, with my practice of testing cars, I learned to appreciate different engines, different propulsion systems. So and actually with normal hybrid I'm pretty okay. So this car has 140 horsepower 2-liter petrol engine and 184 horsepower electric engine. Combined output, I'm not really sure, I didn't check, but it should be around 180 or 200 horsepower, which is quite a lot. And yeah, I think while we're now in the car, I think let's go a little bit for a drive. Now we have it in sports mode, so let's go. It's a little bit slippery today, which is kind of surprising because down there in the city it actually isn't. But yeah, let's just enjoy the ride and you can hear to the engine. So, being still a standard car, I think the sound of the engine also, I assume it also goes from the speakers, this engine sound, but I have to say, even though it might not be the most natural, I think it's pretty good. I mean, it gives you a good impression, which is what many people today like, because they like, at least in my country, they like when the car looks sporty, but doesn't really have to be. sporty model, let's give it beans. So, and this is a CVT gearbox, but it has this sound like if it was changing gears. So that's pretty interesting. You also have the pedals on the steering wheel, but with these pedals what you do is that you set the regeneration to the battery, the recuperation of the energy, and I think it can help you quite a bit when you're slowing down for the corners. So it's an additional braking power to the normal brakes, and I actually use it quite often. I really use it very often, actually all the time in these hybrid cars, because if you learn to use this recuperation correctly, you can also get really nice fuel consumption from out of these hybrids. So that's pretty good, I would say. So yeah, you know, there is a changeable conditions, because when there is a surface on which the sun is shining, it is absolutely dry, but once you come into the shadow, like we're here, it is really wet and slippery. So I have to keep that in mind. Okay, nice. But wow, I have to say, this is a standard car, and I have to say the chassis is really drivable, really nice. I have probably the best thing about this car is the steering. I mean, it feels almost, well, not almost, it feels like in a hot hatch. It feels like in a bloody hot hatch. It is heavy enough, but the best thing about it is that you have really great feedback through it. Every little bump on the road you can feel through the steering, and I find that fantastic. You know, I really assumed from the first time I was sat in this car that this is a normal classical car, but it is still you know, they want to reach the customers that actually like to drive the car, and that's really what I'm seeing now. This car is a normal family hatchback, economical, also comfortable, but you can still have fun from driver's perspective, and that's pretty awesome, I would say. Really, I really like this car. So yeah, I think now I'm not going to, this is really the end of the hill, so I'm not going to do much more, but I have to say, really, the steering is beautiful, the chassis is very nicely balanced. So yeah, and we're still on winter tires, so I mean, really, this is a really nice car. I mean, I myself think that this generation Honda Civic is probably the best car in this class. If you want to buy a standard car but still want to have some fun, this car really gives you, because the other cars like Volkswagen, that's not the GTI, or the Kia, or the Hyundai, that's not the N model, their suspension setup is really comfortable, really understood, really not for driving, you know, for enjoying the drive. But this actually is, and I really like this about this car. Yeah, so maybe some other things I have to say. The suspension, as I said, is nice to drive, but it's also reasonably comfortable, I would say. It's stiffer than other cars. It's stiffer than the Golf, stiffer than the Octavia, stiffer than the i30, but it's decent, you know. It's not a bone shaker, definitely not. So we have these 18-inch wheels. At some points, I would say the comfort is there, but maybe they are, at some big bumps, they are, I would say, too big for this car, but only at that moment. But I think you can do it. You can do it even with them. They look good. But the very interesting thing is that the lower spec of this car, called the Elegance, has smaller wheels but accelerates quicker to 100 kilometers because it's a lower unsprung mass. That's what I assume is the reason why. So this is a sport model. In my country it starts just from 31,000 euros, which is, let's be honest, quite a lot for a car of this size and of this category, but we know why, because this became a hybrid. So a hybrid system is of course more expensive to make. So these eco things makes of course cars more expensive each time. That's maybe a bad thing, but really for a general public this is a really nice car and very easy car to use, which is what they will definitely appreciate. So yeah, I mean, that's about it for the driving, and well, I'll leave the decision on you. Okay guys, so we went on our way back home. Okay, the car has some aerodynamic dirt on it, so I was pushing on the motorway a little bit. I was driving a little bit faster to home, and the fuel consumption is very nice, 7.4 liters, which I think for the speed is pretty good. So yeah, what a beautiful day.